Hey guys, Artosis here. Today we're going to be looking at some Flash Terran vs. Protoss, but honestly, this game that we're going to start some Flash Terran vs. Protoss on is a very selfish one from my point of view. So here's Flash up here, the best player ever to have lived, and down here is a 2100 MMR average Protoss player. He reaches into low S sometimes. Spacer, I play against this guy really very consistently. He does the same thing every single game. And for anyone who actually does watch my stream, you'll know that I generally won't, even if I know how someone plays, I won't hard counter what they do. You know, maybe if it's a pro gamer, I'm like, okay, I know you're center axing, let's hard counter that. But you know, when I'm playing people around my level, I won't really hard counter. I'll be like, okay, let's just try to beat this with normal play, because I find that to be better practice. So let me explain, right? Because I've hit Spacer so many times, and he'll open with something, but what he'll do from there is he'll go into Dark Templar, he'll try to poke you with the Dark Templar, and then he'll rush into Arbiter without observers. And he is the most Arbiter heavy player I have ever seen. Now, for me personally, Arbiter has historically been my weakness. I've gotten a lot better against it, but he goes for so many Arbiters, and he will always have a smaller army than you, but he will suicide recall nonstop while making nexuses, and then eventually he just kind of overwhelms because it takes so long to clean up these recalls, even if you're prepared for them. So yeah, this might end up being a bad game because the MMRs are so radically different, right? Like Flash is realistically, when I asked Scan, he said he thought Flash would probably be 3,200 plus if he actually took ladder seriously. And then again, Spacer is much closer to my level. In fact, like, even though I lose to him a lot, like lower MMR on average, I would say. So yeah, anyways, let's see how it goes. He actually opens with a cross spawn scout. You can see already, I hate this type of play. He's like, yeah, I don't know, maybe you're up there and I just get an advantage. But like, for instance, now he's scouting this direction because he saw the SCV coming in from there. So, okay. He'll find him second, which is nice. So, yeah, that's my story. We'll see if Spacer ends up playing in that way, and we'll see. I want to see from Flash, like, okay, there's no way he knows what he does, so it's not like he's blind countering what's going on. How do you deal with someone who goes so heavily into Mass Arbiter? Because you'd imagine that Flash is going to smash him. So I'm hoping to learn here. So guys, yeah, forgive me if this turns out to be a terrible game. It's just, I want more wins against this guy. Like, he probably has, I want to say he has like a 60% win rate on me, even though I know what he does. It's like, what? Maybe even a little bit higher than that. So, anyways, it looks like a factory expand from Flash, which makes me really, really happy because that's what I open with almost every game. And down here from Spacer, this is just normal stuff, right? He's getting range. Oh, he actually goes third pylon. So his Nexus is going to be a bit later. Flash is going to get that expansion up faster, so he's going to be really happy with that. He is going Vulture and only 2 Marines, so he will throw a bunker down really shortly here as well, I think. And the Nexus for Spacer will be starting. But look, already this is a very good opener from Flash. Flash optimizes for a really fast command center. Like, he is someone who will go 1 or 2 Marines into the command center really, really often. You know, that's just kind of his style. So, yeah, he is getting that bunker right now. And, yeah, the Vulture just kind of getting a little bit of scouting done. And there's the Citadel. See, I'm not joking. He does the same thing every single game. It's the only person I've ever seen really actually play like this. Now, mines on the way here for Flash. No big surprise. Siege tank as well. That will help if there's any Dragoon pressure on his front. You know, part of what Flash is doing here, keeping the Vulture out of the way, it's really, really important. Like, he could dart in and try to get some confirmation, but this Vulture is incredibly important in Terran vs. Protoss because if they start pressuring your bunker, you need to be able to threaten laying mines behind to trap the goons. That's kind of what keeps the goons off you. Like, if you don't push a Vulture out, there's no real reason that they shouldn't run up with the Dragoons and hit the bunker and force you to repair. Whereas if the Vulture's out, some people still do it, but it's not that good a move because you could force that trap and get an advantage in that way. So look at this, right? So there's the Templar Archives, and there's the Stargate, like before the Nexus is done. The guy has 3 units, and he's already making Stargate. I'm actually so excited to see what Flash does against this, seriously. So he is laying a few mines out. He's just playing carefully, getting his eBay a little bit early. There's nothing that's really happened. So this is an earlier eBay than you normally see, but I don't see anything wrong with that. Like, I think he's looking at this and saying, oh, there's a fair chance that there'll be like a drop coming or something pretty soon. And he's got some mines in the path, a little bit of anti-Dark Templar play. So yeah, Flash is kind of crossing his T's, dotting his I's. He's mined up the most likely third base location. This is one thing Flash has said in tutorials of his in the past. Don't be greedy with the mines. Play anti-DT with the mines for the most part. Like, see, he's mined a few expansions. Some players would try to send the vultures out of like 2 mines here and then go. He's laid a lot of mines in this area to keep himself safe. And he has gone for a 2 factory opener as well. There's the armory on the way. And you can see Arbiter Tribunal is already up. Like, it literally, like... It's exactly what I was telling you guys. Same thing every game. So here comes the Dark Templar. The thing is, he plays without any actual vision, right? Like, he gets Observer really, really late. He will eventually get Observer. He's not like a guy that runs around all game with no Observer or something like that, but it's very, very late how he gets it. So a single pro blocking up. By the way, Flash with 4 vultures out here with like speed and mines. Continues to lay some. This style of Flash is so strong. This is so nicely done. He's really well defended right now. He gets tons of intel. Look at that. Pylon goes down. Kind of interesting to watch for potential incoming pushes. That's what that's for. He wants to know if something's coming at him. And notice how he's not committing the DT. He knows that there's mines out there, so like, what is the point of showing your tech and losing an expensive unit? This is a great anti-push unit as well. So look at this. See, he's got 2 gateways, he's got an Arbiter making, and a second Stargate already. So I wasn't joking, man. Like, he's gonna get so many Arbiters, probably more than Flash has really ever played against. Like, seriously. I know how all the pros play. No one plays like this. So... Academy is on the way. Flash still doesn't know what's happening, but what he does know is that there's no expansions. We might actually see him send like 1 vulture around the map just to double check. I feel like that's a good play when we're approaching 8 minutes. You're kind of like, wait, what are you doing? He is getting Academy, but the comsat is going to be a little bit late here to check what's going on. And the thing is, what you'll generally see here, right, is Spacer is going to get into his Arbiters, and as he starts to clear the map out, and he still actually hasn't started the Robo, has he? Yeah, he hasn't started it yet. It's a lot of gas to do all this, but he has banked up a ridiculous amount of gas as well. I think he'll start the Robo relatively soon, but what he'll do is he'll just start expanding everywhere while nailing recalls. Like, well, by nailing, I mean flying over turrets, losing the Arbiter, and losing the army, doing almost no damage, but stalling quite a bit. So there's the first, and notice he's sending out the Zealots. The Zealots are just kind of carving a path through mines. He's got that Zealot leg upgrade. Notice his army is really, really small for right now in the game. His probe count is very small. Flash right now is just on 5 fact. He's just kind of done everything. He's gotten 5 fact. He has +1 on the way. He has comsats. He did hit a scan there. So I think he basically understands what's going on at this point. You can't attack into an Arbiter build like this, because you will run out of scan. There's no way to do it. So Flash kind of brings his units out, starts his third base on location. That's a very fast third base in the current metagame, but of course, Spacer's not playing the current metagame. He's playing his own. More Zealots coming out to clear. We have +1 on the way. We have Stasis on the way. We have multiple Arbiters being made, 2 at a time. And he's just trying to utilize Speed Zealots to clear mines. So he can't make a Nexus too easily until he throws away several Zealots, which is expensive when you're on 2 bases, right? Especially when it's like, look at the probe versus SCV differential here. So the Vultures run in again immediately. He wanted to stall this out. Not going to be able to. But that's okay. That's like an incredibly late third. So like, so far his original Nexus is later than Flash's, and his third is slower than Flash's third. The worker count is massively in Flash's favor. So, like, right now what we're watching, like, if you look at the numbers don't tell you everything in StarCraft, but they point the way. And the numbers are massively in Flash's favor. So the heavy Arbiters are coming out. He has recall on the way now. It's interesting how he gets the Arbiters quickly, but like he waits a little bit to get stasis. He waits a little bit, right? And then he gets recall after stasis. So spreading these Arbiters out. Recall is going to be ready soon, and notice how he's sending these Arbiters to the side. Now, this one doesn't have energy. I think he's just trying to draw attention over here with it, is my guess. By the way, notice how he's like, okay, Nexus. He's starting to send probes around. He's starting to send Zealots to all the different bases. He's going to send some Dragoons so you can't just kill everything with Vultures. Zealots to all bases. Here comes the Arbiter. Not a lot of defense here, but Flash moving his army up. Oops. And he actually backs out. Clearing more mines. Do we still not have the Robo? Gosh, that's really unbelievable that he doesn't have a Robo yet. We're almost 12 minutes in. And the Zealots have cleared a lot of the areas. He's going to be on 4 base shortly here. Still just kind of walking through mines, making a lot of Arbiters. He is getting his probe count up to something reasonable. Like, he will eventually catch up. Look at this. Flash is up 40 supply right now. He has a lot of units. Notice how he's got, like, only a few in the front. Like, he's identified that the actual army size of Spacer is very, very small. He's keeping most of his units in the main base. I think he will reset the rally eventually. He is going for vessels. I'm sure that... I didn't actually check if he had EMP yet, but I'd be surprised if he didn't with the amount of Arbiters that are showing. Look at this. 5 Arbiters. It's scary. If you attack clumped out, you will get stasis to hell. Additional base is up, so now he's on 4 base economy. His gateway count not particularly high. You can see the army is much smaller than Flash's, but it's much more technical. Okay, EMP is now started. You can actually start EMP a little bit late on vessels because it takes so long for them to get up to that. It's like a minute after they pop out, they have 100 energy. So anyways, EMP is coming. Flash has a reasonable setup here. Starts his 4th command center in this area, adding additional turrets as well. More units coming up here for Spacer. It's a very slow macro. Not a lot of action this game, obviously. We have Flash with his 2-1 coming. He's got that Goliath range on the way. No Goliaths as of yet. Well, I guess he's popping out his first Goliaths now. He does have, I guess, just a few. And more coming as well. And look at this spread, man. The thing is, the army is so tiny and so weak. It's insane how small this army is that he has here. But he has another group of units somewhere, I think. Or does he not? Jesus. Just a few units sitting about. And he is starting to add some more gateways as well. Still no Robo. Absolute insanity. So here comes, okay, 1 stasis. Okay, you can see how quick stasis comes out. Insta-stasis is both of the vessels, but Flash still has such a stronger army right now. Flash continues to push up. Here comes another. All right, double stasis again. You can, dude, stasis casts so quickly. It's so crazy how fast it actually casts. And he just stays back. And look at this. Like, he's buying himself time. Stasis, by the way, is the longest spell duration in the game. Someone's going to point out that Lockdown is the same. That's true, but Lockdown is not really usable. But yeah, Stasis takes a really long time. It's like 43 seconds, I want to say, for the crystals to wear off. So you just kind of sit there. And look, he's setting up 2 more Nexuses because he's frozen the majority of the army. Okay, Flash does get an EMP off. But another couple stasis that went off. Just mass stasis here. Flash very slowly pushing forward. That is a lot of siege tanks. Another stasis goes down. Just constant stasis. The thing is, he hasn't recalled at all. So, Spacer right now, down 30 supply, but he has a ton of bases. He's thrown down some Psy Storms. He's slowed the army of Flash, but Flash is coming forward, and it seems inevitable that Flash is going to be able to roll through him. Because, like, he just kind of, like, waited out a lot of the stasises. I just wish we'd see a recall. He sent one Arbiter up here, and he doesn't have enough energy. But there's been 0 recall here, right? Like, if you recall here, you're going to do a ton of damage, but instead he just, like, stasised over and over and over. The way that he normally plays here... Now, he might be a little bit freaked out that he's playing Flash, but as I can tell you, like, you can look through his match history and find lots of games against me. Normally, he will use some stasis like that, but he'll just start recalling the sides, just, like, non-stop. Here, he casted, like, what, 10 stasises and didn't even attempt a recall. So, I'm going to honestly say that this was, like, obviously Flash was going to beat him, but it really seems like he was panicking here. Like, I think he was just really nervous that he was playing against Flash. I don't feel like I actually got to learn what this is, because this is not particularly good recall defense. Just to be really super clear about this, turrets don't stop a recall at all. So, like, when he will get the recall off no matter what if he goes over these areas. The only way to stop it is to EMP, like, you'd have to EMP the Arbiter about here. You EMP it here, the recall still goes off. I'm not joking. This is how recall works. Like, it takes a minute. They slide in. They hit the recall right about here, and then it recalls, like, here. So, yeah, like, Flash will inevitably come up here and get him. Looks like he was getting ready for a carrier switch. He's got bases, like, everywhere, guys. And the thing is, you can slow people with stasis, but you can also slow them by doing recalls all over the place and threatening damage, because the recalls do have to be cleaned up as well. Yeah, Spacer kind of hitting into the center a little bit here. It's so few units. Flash now has split off some tanks as well. Damn. I really would have liked to see him try some recalls in this game, but I think we're, like, I mean, he's rebuilding gates, but I think we're, not in a recoverable position for Spacer here. All right, well, hope you guys didn't mind too much me trying to figure out how you beat Supermass Recall from the guy who literally makes the most Arbiters in the whole world. But he did not cast a single recall, so what can you do? Some more stasis is going off. Flash has so many more units, though. You can actually see, like... I mean, we're almost 19 minutes in right now with a high A rank, low S rank Protoss, and Flash has not killed him, so, you know, that's something. That's something to be proud of, I guess. Anyways, I guess you guys just have to trust me. It's hard to play against. Even though Flash, I guess, made it look easy this game. So, well, he's got these nexuses. He's adding those gateways as well. He just doesn't have much bank. Flash has, like, infinity bank right now. He has twice as much supply. He's just moving forward slowly but surely here. Yeah, I guess Flash with his whole army here during it. He has turrets. Notice how he has another... I do want to point out a couple things about the recall defense, because it's recall would go off, but here's what Flash's recall defense was, okay? So he's got this area, so you can't recall in his main via this path. All of his units are here, which includes Goliath, so you couldn't... I'm talking about earlier before the push, right? So it's like maybe here. Right? Okay, so you can't go through this area to recall. into the main base because he's got turrets plus his Goliaths. You can't go through this area to recall in his main base. The thing is, the recall will go off. It'll go off on the SCVs, but this army can pretty quickly flow down and help deal with that. And the same up here, where he's got it like, okay, you can't recall through here. There is maybe a weak area through here. It takes, by the way, an Arbiter. If an Arbiter is going to fly over missile turrets, 3 perfectly placed will kill the Arbiter before it gets past. If they are not super well placed, it takes 4. Okay? So, like, see these 2 turrets? If the Arbiter flew over this, it would easily fly over, tank every shot, and fly into the main base and recall. Okay? I like, this is something I have to mention because it's important to see, like, okay, why does he have this many turrets? Again, the recall would get off, but these would kill it so it doesn't get to the main base. One of the main things is you need to make sure it doesn't get to the main base, because if it gets up into the main base, they kill armories, they kill depots, they cause supply blocks. It takes a long time to walk the units up the ramp and kill it. And by the time you've cleared it, they're taking more Nexuses, right? They're setting up another recall, that type of thing. Anyways, hope that this wasn't a waste of your time, guys. Thanks for watching. We will see you next time.